Why, hello there. Brent here with Bring Your Own Tools. On today's episode, we are completely transforming this old sad driveway from this to this. If you want to learn how to do it, keep on watching. Let's get started. Oh, the dreaded moss. Now, I decided to do this project for a couple different reasons. Number one, I wanted to give back in some way to my community. And two, I was tired looking at this driveway because this is an elderly neighbor of mine that just couldn't do this herself. We are fully mossed over on this driveway and we just need some love and affection. There are definitely some areas where we have some growth, but for the most part, it seems like this asphalt is actually in really good shape if you take a look at over here. So, we need to do a little pressure washing and a few other things. Let's get to it. The number one thing you're going to need for a project like this is a good quality pressure washer. I picked up this pressure washer on Amazon for a couple $100 and it's worked out amazingly for years. All you have to do to hook it up is attach your hose and spray nozzle to your pressure washer and then of course attach your hose to your water outlet. Go ahead and turn on the water and select the appropriate spray nozzle. I find that the middle ground works the best because it gives you a wide enough fan, but it also still has the power to remove the moss. And of course, having the appropriate ear protection, eye protection, and waterproof gloves are key for a project like this. Before we even get to the driveway, I quickly realized that we have a lot of stuff to get rid of in this driveway, including a lot of miscellaneous pots and some leaves that seemingly looked like they had some rodents in them, so I did wear a respirator when removing that type of stuff. Keep that in mind. And of course, our dreaded sticker bushes. These things can seemingly grow anywhere and they are fester to deal with. So I took a saw as well as some clippers and removed any unsightly areas in the asphalt, as well as try and control some of the ones that were going up against the house and into the driveway itself. But now it's time to start pressure washing, and for a pressure washer, I would suggest having at least a 3000 PSI pressure washer, especially for a heavily invasive moss that's on a driveway like this. As I begin to use the pressure washer, I quickly realized that there's even a concrete pad right next to our asphalt driveway that was buried, and seemingly these sticker bushes found a way to grow in between our asphalt and concrete pads. Oh, and just remember, it is oddly satisfying to remove any type of moss off of any surface, even an old wood bench that has been here for who knows how many years, but it hasn't gotten any attention in a very long time. The one thing that I quickly realized about this project is that the pressure washer was not going to suffice, especially for the vast majority of this moss. This driveway is so mossed over and there are large mounds of moss everywhere. But the best thing about it is the fact that I quickly realized a snow shovel was going to be my best friend for this type of removal, because the easiest way to remove this moss is to have somewhat of a sharp edge going underneath the head of the moss, therefore removing it very quickly and easily with a snow shovel. Plus, you don't want to be wetting this moss down first because this moss is already going to be heavy enough. I took one load to the dump, which was less than half the moss that I removed, and that was over 400 pounds. That means I removed at least 800 to 1,000 pounds of moss on this one driveway. That's crazy. Oh, and make sure you're not overloading these buckets because they can get extremely heavy very quick and we don't need to blow our back out with moss. No, that's not a good story for anyone. Now that we have the vast majority of the moss taken care of, we can now start pressure washing. The only thing is that I quickly realized that this nozzle is just not going to do it, otherwise I would be here for days, not hours. Which is why I picked up one of these. This is a round surface cleaner by Ryobi, and it is so easy to use because all you have to do is connect it into your nozzle and start spraying. This has an amazing little system where it actually has 2 spray nozzles going in a circular pattern extremely fast, so the vast majority of this entire area gets cleaned very thoroughly and very quickly versus one small section. This attachment has a 15-inch diameter, which basically means that we can get get to a very large amount of space and area in a very short amount of time compared to a spray nozzle. This is amazing in my book, and all you have to do after you go over the space is then insert your normal spray nozzle into the hose and start washing away all the excess dirt and grime. You'll quickly realize that having that Ryobi surface cleaner is a world changer, because I should have bought this thing a long time ago, because I do plenty of pressure washing at some points of the year, and this makes life so much easier. And as always, I'll leave a link in the description box below on all the tools and materials seen in this video. Luckily for my neighbor, there was only one small section that actually had growth coming through underneath the asphalt. That's something that we have to worry about and address. However, just pressure washing it is key at this point, and I'll properly address what you need to do with these cracks at the tail end of this video after everything's cleaned up. As I proceed to removing all of the dirt and grime off of this driveway, I do want to work myself away from the house. I don't want to actually work towards the house because I don't want any of this gunk as well as moisture getting into the garage, and luckily for me, the driveway is actually pointed downward towards the street, and therefore all liquids, dirt, and moisture is going to be following gravity because it's on my side this time. Makes life a little bit easier and nicer because my driveway certainly is opposite of this. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, I'll make sure and leave a link in the description box below on how I sealed my own driveway. And as for sealing, I would actually love to seal the driveway at this point. However, you have to have at least a minimum of 50-degree temperatures consistently through the day and night, and that's definitely not what we have at this point in the greater Seattle area. But later on this year, if you do want to see me apply a seal coat onto this driveway, let me know in the comment section below, because I am interested, and depending on what the reaction is, I might just do it. And as a quick helpful side note, if you're going downhill and you don't want all this gunk to just clog up your drain, just put a towel down. A towel will help stop all the gunk, but let the majority of the water flow through. Easy peasy. All we still need to do is prep some of these cracks, and the only ones that I'm concerned with at this point are the ones that still have grass and debris stuck in them. These are areas where the grass was actually coming out, and I take a large torch and start burning away any of the excess grass. This will hopefully permanently kill the grass, but unfortunately we can't put any type of sealant in this area because it's too cold. That's why I'm going to add a bit of patch into these larger cracks, then apply some heat to the asphalt patch so it can merge into the existing asphalt, put a little weight on it, and it's good enough for now until it's warm enough to apply our seal coat. But guess what? Now that we have this taken care of, we are done. It always feels good to give back to your community in a nice way that someone wasn't expecting. This was an elderly neighbor of mine that I was able to do this for free because of you guys. You guys are watching. I'm able to give back to my communities like this for free, and I can't thank you enough for it. And as you can see, this is truly one beautiful, sexy beast of a transformation. Oh yeah. I take on so many different types of construction projects year round, and the only way that I'm able to do it every single week is if I personally stay healthy. And the one company that's helped me do that, right here. Yep, we're talking Footwear, by Georgia Boot, of course. These boots provided support, comfortability, and most importantly, kept my feet surprisingly dry over this entire process, which is important on a project like this. However, I've used these boots numerous times in numerous different projects throughout the entire last year, and there is quite a lineup from the looks of it here at BYOT headquarters. As you can see, Georgia Boot has a variety of options to choose from From heavy duty construction to light construction to even casual wear, I've personally worn and tried each one of these boots out numerous times because I wanted to make sure they were high quality, they felt good, and they would last. And I've put a few of these through the ringer, I assure you. If you want to check them out for yourself, I'll make sure and leave a link in the description of this video. And the real question is, at this point, what's the next project going to be in Georgia boots?